And we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We are day 90 of not 365 days of guitar practice. Welcome if you're brand new. For all of you returning folks, if you're wondering, there's been a day or so. Well, this is going to be a change up after this video going forward. My original goals for this was to do a video every single day, vlogging my practice. However, that is painstakingly, brutally terrifying for most people's ears. I totally get that. And also, I know it's not traditional practice. And so this is a return to music as a whole for me. And so I am going forward, not necessarily post every day. I'm still recording videos every day and also practicing multiple times a day. However, I want the content to be different, more watchable, because things are stagnating a bit. And I kind of expected that after I first started, because it was just going to be like, oh boy, I'm super amateur. And then of course, all the folks who are saying that it's not guitar practice, I completely agree. It's not. I'm leaning on 50's door. This movie's about half over. I'm not 12 anymore. And nor will my brain learn the same way that it did saxophone and piano when I was 12. So I'm taking a very abstract approach, and this is all about my musical journey as a midlife dude. So going forward, these are gonna be my return to music episodes, more so than just, now I'm gonna be practicing and making your ears bleed, don't worry. For all of you hardcore folks who let me do that, thank you so much. However, we're just gonna be going forward, and there's gonna be shorter videos, more shorts, just different content that's more viewable and more watchable. I started watching some of my own videos back, because I really haven't done that a whole lot, just full transparency, because I figured why watch them back when I just did them. I was here present. So, and I want them to be different for all of you 644 folks who are, I think there's still 644. We've lost a few along the way. But all you dudes that are hanging out and following along, thank you so much. But this is an evolution, and that's where it's gonna be. So with that, we're gonna knock out a couple of comments real quick from kind of an old school. Then we're gonna jam around a little bit. Yes, the setup's different once again, because right here, all my guitars are gone off the walls. I'm plastering, well, not plastering them, sheetrock and mud, basically. But this whole room's you're gonna see some plastic up tomorrow, because I don't wanna get this stuff dusty and dirty. And if you're brand new and still watching, I'm a general contractor here in California. I'm getting back in music after 22 years, and this is my journey. However, I'm in the middle of remodeling my house right now. So I don't want to get all this nice gear dusty and dirty. So real quick, got one comment from Eli Nelson, 8215. You're doing a good job on attaching yourself to the groove beat. Do you make chords out of the scale finger shapes you play individual notes with? Sometimes I try. I'm still learning the fretboard, but yes, sometimes. It's something my teacher pointed out to me that turned a light bulb on in my head. What turned a light bulb on in my head, brother, was I was fiddling around with it, and I was like, well, man, that's a G. Oh, shit. G, A, B. Oh, that's just a chromatic scale. And then I started following it around. That was my light bulb epiphany a couple days ago. It's also fun watching the gear get more expensive. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Again, it's such an evolution. I still have the Scarlett, which I tried plugging in, made a bunch of noise. Didn't do what I wanted to do, so I think I'm gonna get a small PA speaker or some different monitors of sorts. And then I also tried putting my mic today up against the speaker, because I asked the chat, hey, Google AI, can I do this? And it was like, yes, you absolutely can. I'm like, all right, sweet. And I did it. That totally doesn't work, by the way. So you gotta check your references. The AI is not completely accurate all the time. Wish me luck this week in court. Ooh, didn't read that part. Best of luck, whatever you're going through, brother. It's only temporary, trust me. I went through a 54-month divorce battle. Ugh, thought that was gonna never end, but it finally did. All right, so if you are still here and still watching, and if you want to follow this old dude's return to music, click that subscribe button. First time ever saying that on any of my videos. However, I do want the channel to grow, because I have a lot of cool stuff. And I'm also leaning heavy on some AI imaging, which if you have not done so, go play around with the AI stuff. It's fun. It's a ton of fun. The music side of it, I haven't played around with, because I want to keep my music authentic, which is pretty much raw as it always is. But the imagery, because I do a lot of sketching and I do a lot of artwork, which is another channel that's going to be launching as well too. That's another reason for bringing these down to not daily, because I have another channel that I'm also launching. I will link everybody in that in the future. because it is in the process. Some of you may have seen I had a camera over here pointing down at a table. That's what that's all about. So, but anywho, if that one dude's still there. Oh, and I will have merch. Again, there's so many irons in the fire right now. There's only so many hours in the day, and I'm going back to work a little bit here and there. So there's life, got to be an adult sometimes. But tonight, though, I do have loaded up, get the flip-flops off so you can get comfortable, and been playing around with my RC600, which has been pretty awesome, and got it running through a cheap bass, an $89 Amazon bass cab that sounds like, hold on. So I got a drum kit set up with a little backbeat on that guy. Can't record into that yet with my guitar because it has to go through that cab and it doesn't really work. So we're just going to be playing around with drums and guitar tonight. And fiddling around with the Tele, possibly the Schecter, depending on how long we jam around on this. But yeah, welcome to episode 90 of Jay's Return to Music. And we're going to go... Got the Memory Man out, playing around with that once again. And yeah, and this is on single coil mode for this evening. We're going to kick it down to double, but I've been kind of playing around with the single coil version. It's kind of cool. And this is everything's dropped down about a half step. Top strings is C sharp. Oh, going through the dark terror because it's been a minute since we give her some love. And let's go, actually, you know what? We'll go 15 watt because you got the window shut. Backbeat this morning, that's why I left it in. And yep, they're still noisy. That won't always be the case, because we will be changing out with some handy dandy tools online. Let's tune this back up. Open string stuff, and again, this releases me from having to worry about all of the purists out there, and nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with the purists, by the way. I love the guitar community. However, this allows me to practice how I'm going to practice and evolve how I'm going to evolve without that pressure. Because I will be the first to admit I was starting to feel that pressure, and this is a passion project for me exclusively. And so it's all about having fun. And when it started not being fun anymore, or being like, oh, am I really doing the right thing? And I'm not being pure to the traditional path. I'm not traditional whatsoever. I'm almost 50. This is just all there is to it. So thank you again if you're hanging out this deep into the video. We're going to keep jamming around, fiddling more with the RC600. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's gonna change completely, the old intro. Kinda had to when I put music behind it, or beats behind it. Try to fun? All right, let's try another drum kit. Zone off to the ether for a little bit, and then we will wrap up episode 90 of this Return to Music. Ooh. Let's turn this on. Let's see what that sounds like. Lots of noise, lots of noise. Low. Something sounded good. Oh, but I want to get some delay on this. I really want to play around with the memory man a lot. Let's go blues. I got any blues, traditional, electro, funk, soul, R&B, fusion, jazz. Oh, maybe. Maybe. I'll stay there with that. That's fine. the ether there for a bit, like usual. And if any of you fine folks are still hanging out, thank you so much. And I will see all of you in the very near future for episode 91. Peace. See you then.